All right. Hi, and welcome everybody. Um, as you probably remember from the email, this is just going to be the throwing the bones for the ceremony today. Before we get started with that, a couple of housekeeping things. First, the video. If you are on video during the ceremony, which the reading is going to start at noon, but if you are on video, there's a good chance you will be seen on the recording. We're recording this, and you can mute your video if you like. But if you stay on video, you give us permission to use that recording with you possibly on it. So that's the first thing. But you can, like I said, you can mute yourself. There's a camera icon at the bottom of your Zoom window. And when you click on that, there's a red line that crosses it out. If you are having problems with reception, most likely it's the bandwidth of your internet. Try to log off and then log on again and see if that changes. And if you're still having difficulty, try to mute the video too, see if that changes. But if you're running into problems, it's pretty much impossible for me to troubleshoot during the ceremony. Let's see. I think that's it. Those are the two main things. So let's throw the bones. So officially, hi and welcome everybody. My name is Helmut Whitaker, and I am here with Kay Cadell Whitaker. Hi, Kay.
Hi, Helmut. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. And we are offering another bone throwing ceremony. As most of you know, a bone throwing ceremony is a form of divination or calling of the spirits. So do you want to share a little bit more about bone throwing?
Yeah.
Just a few more details.
This is a tradition from the Central Eastern Andes. It's handed down to me by my adopted grandparents, Damano and Chia Whitaker, mostly Chia. It's considered within their tribe, it's a women's tradition, although most of the men that study medicine in the tribe learn to throw the bones. So it's not like exclusive. We have the bones themselves, and this is their house. This is how the ceremony begins. In front of me, you see a cloth that's spread out. It has an image on it. There's an overhead image as well. It's a kind of a humanish figure. It's got two heads, one at the top and one at the bottom. And if you fold it vertically, it's kind of a mirror image. There's a arm, hand, kind of doing the same thing. The same with the legs. And if you fold it horizontally, like that, same thing. It's a bit of a mirror image. And that creates a lot of information, a lot of extra nuances to the bone throw. Now this cloth, we call it the ground. It has many, many layers of symbols and meanings in it, at least 20. And the student studying the bones has to figure all this out for themselves. They have to figure out the ground and the layers and how to make these layers work together in kind of a 3D way. So that when a piece falls in a particular place, then it's going to mean a bunch of different things on each one of these layers. And that information has to integrate. It has to work together. So there's a great depth of symbology and information that the spirits want to provide to answer your questions. So the first thing that we do, we blow on the bones. And the bones are in here, And in the black bag is a crystal. This is part of the bundle. These two things in the ground make up the bone bundle. Everybody always ends up asking me, well, what's in the black bag? Or how come you didn't pick the bones in the black bag? It's a crystal. The Whitakers consider their medicine to be crystal medicine. And I could go on for many hours explaining what that means to them, but crystals are really an important part, a foundation behind a lot of what they do and how they go about thinking about things and the world. We always blow on that. That's energy coming from our heart, our life energy and love, and it's all clearing and loving and energizing and asking for the help of the bones and the spirits of the bones so that they will speak a lot to us, give lots of healing and information. The little bag is often called the bone house. That's their little house. Every student that studies the bones has to build their own set, their own collection of bones. It takes a long time. And the spirits, it's a matter of pursuing and apprenticing with all these different spirits. And each one of these bones is more than 60. I stopped counting at 60. Each one of these bones is representing a particular spirit that I have apprenticed with and studied with for a long time. And they're the ones who give all the information about what the bones mean and what they're going to mean when they fall here or there, or they're close to this other bone or this way or that way, because it all changes the meaning slightly. It adds more and more and more depth. My first step is to pick them all up, and the bone bundle never stops growing. The bone thrower is always apprenticing with another spirit nation, as long as they live. And that will add another bone piece to the bundle. I've gotten to the place where I can barely pick them up and get them to stay in my hand. They're excited. I can't get them to stay in my hands. All right. Now we're going to blow the question for the spirits onto the bones.
Okay. And the question for today is, and if you want to join us in blowing the intent of the question onto the bones, please. The question is, what are the secrets to living a happy and fulfilled life while creating a legacy of positive change to help shape the world of tomorrow?
Blow with me if you wish. We're blowing that question into the bones. And now I drop them onto the ground. You can see that there's a lot collected in the center. Some of them kind of piled on top of each other. That can happen. And now it's going to take me a bit of time to study them, to see what the spirits have to say.
All right. Thanks for joining. All right. Thanks for joining us for the throw. We're gonna stop the broadcast and we'll be back at about 12 noon, probably a few minutes before. See you then.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.